Oh, see, it's healthy. There's a picture of someone that's 300 pounds on a cover and it says healthy, and so I'm also healthy. Really? Is it that easy to manipulate you? You just need to see somebody who's overweight on a magazine and you think it's healthy? Come on! Coach Greg, and in today's video, it's your fault. That's right. If you're obese, I'm telling you, it's your own fault. A lot of people are going to argue and say, no, it's not. It's genetics. You can't do anything about it. We're pre-programmed to become a certain weight, and there's nothing you can say. And so these people say, well, let's promote fat acceptance. You're fat, so what? Well, I'll tell you what. If you're fat, obese, it's not healthy, and you're more likely to die an earlier death. But the good news is, these people who say you can't do anything about it, they're all wrong. 100% wrong. Obesity, it's half environmental influences and half your genetics. And so I'm not saying that it's not true that it makes it harder to lose weight, but what I am saying is that you can in fact do something about it. And in today's video, I'm gonna tell you what. We're gonna explain why it's so hard to lose weight, but what you can do about it. With knowledge comes power. And so rather than telling people you can't lose the weight, you should just accept it. Embrace the suffering. I'm here to say you're wrong. You can do something about it. And we're going to go into details why. And so we're going over Dr. Chris Raynor's video, and we're going to explain, what do I agree, disagree, what is he right about, what is he wrong about? And so in case you don't think the obesity is actually an epidemic, over 40% of people in the United States alone are obese. Over 40%. That's almost half the people in the United States. That's over 100 million people in the United States alone. And around the world, it's in the billions.
The health risks associated with obesity are an increased incidence of cardiovascular disease, an increased incidence of metabolic disease, a higher incidence of some forms of cancer.
And so those of you who say healthy at any size, you're completely delusional. Are you kidding me? That's mind-blowing that you could even think this. Healthy at any size. Yeah, you're 300 pounds. How are you healthy? You're not. Stop kidding yourself. Wake up, smell the coffee, and realize you can, in fact, do something about it.
When your doctor talks to you about your weight, it's most times not because they're trying to attack you, but because they want to help you.
And so think of it. Doctors, they're trying to help you. They're trying to help you lose weight. And so when they ask you your weight or they tell you need to lose weight, they're not fat shaming you. They're trying to help you. They're trying to convince you that losing weight would be good for you. And so how is that bad? It would be analogous to a doctor saying, do you use sunscreen when you go out in the sun? Because I noticed you got skin cancer. Don't you want them to help?
Most people think that those of us who properly manage our energy balance remain lean, whereas those of us who eat too much and exercise too little become obese.
It's calories in, calories out, of course. If you don't eat too much and you exercise a lot, you're not going to be overweight. If you consume too many calories and don't burn enough of them off, you're going to be obese. That's just how it works. I'm not saying that to be rude, but I'm saying that so that you understand it is in fact a choice. A hard choice, yes, and some people it's harder than others.
Many view obesity as a lifestyle choice. Maybe you've heard someone say, just exercise more, just eat less. But it's not nearly that simple.
Well, technically it is that simple. If you burnt off more calories and consumed fewer of them, you would lose weight. But I'm not saying that that's easy because he's not wrong. There are literally hormones that regulate how hungry you are. And when you're hungry, starving, of course you're going to want to eat.
Here, Michigan Medicine is referring to the set point theory that states that the human body tries to maintain its weight within a preferred range.
And so every person is born with the genetics to want to weigh a certain amount. Some of us are luckier than others, and our genetics want us to be lean. Others, less fortunate, they want us to be overweight. But that doesn't mean you can't do something about it. A set point is a range. Bottom range, top range. Anything below this, that is a nightmare. You see that with people who are trying to maintain single-digit body fat. They have lower testosterone levels, lower sex drive, mood, they can't sleep, they're starving all the time. It's horrible. And to the opposite extent, if you eat too much, it's also not healthy. And so what everyone can learn to do is to strive to be at the lower end of the set point. Rather than staying up here, your body can be down there. That is something that's in your control. You can do something about that. What can you do? You can exercise 150 minutes of cardio a week, and you can eat a healthy diet. with low calorie dense foods. The problem is people don't know how to do that. They're eating junk food, chips, candies, and so on, and they wonder why they're overweight. Well, if they knew better, and if they ate foods like in my cookbook, lower calorie foods, higher in fiber, higher in protein, that are more voluminous, it allows them to stay full, it's easier to stick to your diet. It really is that simple. And I'm not saying you can lose all the weight, but consider this. If you're 250 pounds and your ideal weight's 150, you're 100 pounds overweight. I'm not saying you should try to lose 100 pounds, but what I'm saying is to lose half. Half is a realistic goal. Remember, you have to be within that set point. If you go below that, you're going to be starving all the time. You're going to have no energy. It's not going to feel good. But why are you hanging out here? Why do you live your life at this point? Just because your genetics suck and it wants you to be overweight? You don't have to be overweight here. You could be down here. And how do you do that? You eat less junk, less sugars, less high calorie dense foods, less highly palatable, high sugar, high fat foods like ice cream, chips, candies, cookies, and so on. It's not that hard. And if you start going for walks and exercising and burning off more of those calories, being up here, you're not going to want to be there. Your body is going to be there. Not saying you're going to walk around with a shredded six-pack. Never said that. Not going to have single-digit body fat. Don't need it. But what you can do is get halfway there. Halfway to your dream physique, it's a heck of a lot better than what you're doing right now. And so rather than worrying about, oh, I have 100 pounds to lose, I should just give up. It's my genetics. Instead of thinking that, think, I could lose half of that. I just need to know how.
Ghrelin, on the other hand, is famously known as the hunger hormone, released by the stomach when it's empty to signal to your brain that it's time to eat.
And so if you know what you're doing, you can manipulate these hormones. If you eat bigger meals, low calorie dense foods, drink more water, exercise, you're going to have less ghrelin. That means you're going to be less hungry. With less of the hunger hormone ghrelin and more leptin, your body ends up being more satisfied. You're less hungry and you eat less. Naturally. It doesn't have to be that difficult. And so rather than thinking there's nothing I can do, fat acceptance, love me for who I am, why not learn, do something about it, lose some of the weight, and actually be healthy in the real world?
This is a system that involves other organs and hormones, and in most cases that cannot be overpowered by willpower or a desire to lose weight.
Exactly. You can't expect people to just use willpower and lose all the weight. I'm not saying to lose all those 100 pounds, I'm saying to lose half. And if all you're doing is eating the same foods you're used to, the high-fat, high-sugar foods, the jumps, candies, cookies, and so on, how do you think you're going to have the willpower to stop? If the junk is in the room and you see it, you're going to want to eat it. Out of sight, out of mind. When I walk around the kitchen, I don't see junk. In fact, what I see is fruits and vegetables. When I open the fridge, I don't see a bunch of garbage. And so it's easy for me because what I see is healthy. And so if you want to lose weight, be proactive. Have healthy foods around the house. And have them in stock all the time. Make sure it's available. And that junk, the crap, the high calorie stuff, you know what they are. I don't need to teach you about that. Keep that out of sight. Keep it hidden away in the pantry. Put it in a deep freeze underneath all the healthy frozen vegetables and fruits. That way you're not as tempted, much easier to lose weight.
Mobilizing all the available resources and systems to do so. And thus we see around a 95% failure rate when attempting to treat obesity with diet and exercise.
Exactly. 95% of people dieting and exercising fail to lose the weight. Why? Because they don't know how to do it properly. Do you think they all have my cookbook? Do you think these people have my Circle diet book? You know, my life's work on how to lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life? Of course not. And so 95% of diets fail because 95% of people are morons. They don't know what they're doing. Oh, I know. I'll just eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. Then I'll lose the weight. I'll train twice a day. Yeah, it lasts about a month if you're lucky, and then you fall off the wagon and repeat year after year, yo-yo dieting. But the smarter people, they're out there watching my videos, learning how to lose the weight, how to keep it off, getting my cookbook, my Circle diet book, and they're becoming successful.
So modern medicine has developed other procedures, such as bariatric surgery.
And so he goes on to say, well, this is what you can do about it. You can use bariatric surgery, all kinds of crazy stuff. Well, I'm not here to promote surgeries, but I'm not saying you shouldn't get them. But rather than surgeries, why not start with a Seco bar? You know, calories in, calories out. Seems like a logical place to start to me. 220 calories, 20 grams of protein, 15 grams of high quality fiber to keep you full, satiated for the long haul. And so rather than going and eating junk, cookies, candies, and chocolate bars, you eat one of these, keeps you full, keeps you going to your next meal. You choose to eat more fruits and vegetables, you go for a walk, and perhaps you don't need surgery. Does that make sense? Oh, but why would I want to try Seco Bar? I mean, think of it. Costs $35 for a box. I'd rather do surgery. How much is that going to cost? And how much suffering are you going to do with that? Laying around in bed, scars, and guess what? You can quite literally pass away during the surgical procedure. Last I checked, it's a lot safer and easier to eat a Seco Bar. But no, I don't want to do that. Poor me. Feel bad for me. Fat acceptance me. I'm sad I gained weight. It's all your fault. Really? Did you really try that hard? As you're eating chips and Doritos, not going for walks, and watching Netflix and saying, it's my hormones. Really?
There are several types of bariatric surgery, including the gastric bypass switch, sleeve gastrectomy, and the biliopancreatic diversion with duodenal switch.
Or you could eat a Seco Bar. You know, it's got full of fiber, it expands, it keeps you full. You don't need to cut out part of your stomach. Oh, why would I want to do that? Why would I listen to that Coach Greg guy saying to have protein ice cream fills up the stomach? Why would I want to drink a diet soda that has 5 calories instead of 150? Oh, what a foolish man that Coach Greg is. I'd rather just get surgery.
When you've seen firsthand how difficult living, moving, personal hygiene becomes, you are much less likely to pass obesity off as a choice.
Or you might think they have an enabler, someone that's helping them to eat all that food while they sit there and somebody does everything for them. I don't think many people's goals is to gain that kind of weight, perhaps Nikocado avocado. I want to gain weight. I want to be 400 pounds. Most people don't. But what they don't want to do more than that is to make a change, to do cardio, to eat healthy. And so they're choosing to live like that because they'd rather live like this, eating everything and anything they want, all that garbage and candies and so on, than to eat healthy and to go for a walk. It's their choice. They're simply making the wrong one. At least in my opinion, we all have the right to make our own choices. And so if they want to choose an earlier death by eating this way, not exercising and so on, well, that's on them. People choose to smoke, to drink, to use PEDs. We all make our own choices. They're not always the best ones, but I'm here to say you can in fact lose that weight if you in fact want to.
What is there to do when something feels like it's beyond your control? Perhaps accept it. Embrace it even.
Or you could try getting my cookbook or reading my Circle Diet book, watching my YouTube videos, or perhaps getting that Seco Bar. But no, I wouldn't want to do that. I'd rather just accept it. And hopefully I can see an image representing me on some magazine somewhere, because then I won't give a shit, because I'll see a 300-pound person on a cover of a fitness magazine saying, this is healthy. And then I can live in denial thinking, oh, see, it's healthy. There's a picture of someone that's 300 pounds on a cover and it says healthy, and so I'm also healthy. Really? Is it that easy to manipulate you? You just need to see somebody who's overweight on a magazine and you think it's healthy? Come on!
It's whether we should be celebrating a body image which is medically defined as highly dangerous.
Nothing wrong with seeing people 300 plus pounds on magazine covers, but you simply can't say, this is healthy. It would be like having the Mr. Olympia champion on the cover of a magazine and saying, this is healthy. It's not. We know it's not. Just because a guy's got 4% body fat and 250 plus pounds of muscle doesn't make them healthy. In fact, quite the opposite. But I haven't read anywhere that says an IB Pro professional bodybuilder winning a competition is healthy. Show me the image. This is healthy. I don't see that big rabby. This is healthy. We don't fool ourselves. We're not kidding anyone. We know it's not healthy, and so at least don't live in denial.
The secret is, that's how to make lasting changes, by taking full responsibility for your health.
And so he says, take full responsibility for your health. Don't just think healthy at any size. I can't do anything about it. Think, it's 50% environment and 50% genetic. And I'm going to do something about my environment. I'm going to start eating healthier, go for walks, exercise, and so on.
If these cover images help to get people up and moving, one could argue that they have a net positive value on general societal health.
I'm sorry, but having photos of people who are 300 plus pounds on a magazine cover saying this is healthy is not motivating people to exercise more. It's in fact doing the opposite. It's saying, look, you can be healthy at this weight. People are going to see that and think, well, I'm 50 pounds smaller than that. Maybe I'll just eat more and not exercise, because clearly, look at this. Healthy at 300 pounds. I'm 250. Why should I try? If it says this is not healthy, but you should still love yourself enough to go for a walk and put the fork down, and I read that, I'm thinking, well, I'm 300 pounds. This is not healthy. Perhaps I should go for a walk today. Perhaps I should put that fork down. Maybe I'll choose an apple instead of 17 chocolate bars. Does that not make sense?
So if we know that an active lifestyle is essential no matter who you are, the question becomes, where do we begin?
Exactly. An active lifestyle is essential. Notice, not suggested, or maybe you should think about doing. Essential. As in you have to do it. And if you don't, well, you're shortening your life.
Well, with something you love to do, it's much easier to move when you truly enjoy what you're doing. It's advantageous to get the ball rolling from a place of genuine interest.
And so what does he suggest? Find an activity you enjoy. How long have I been saying this? If you don't like running and you say, I'm going to pick up running, you're not. You're going to stop. Find an exercise that you love doing. I love riding bikes. If you don't want to ride a bike, do something else. Go for a walk. Go bowling. Go and ski. Perhaps golf. Find something. Watch a freaking bird in the woods, but walk there this time.
When you feel stuck, reach out for professional guidance if financially viable. Trainers, nutritionists, medical professionals.
And so the more you understand the consequences, the dangers of being obese, the more likely you're going to make a change. And so when we educate people saying no, healthy at any size, that's a myth. It's not actually a thing. The more people are less likely to think, oh, it's okay, I can be obese, it's healthy. Please remember, you have a greater chance of dying from all causes of mortality if you are in fact obese and or overweight. And so hopefully I've motivated you to get off your ass, go for a walk, move around, eat healthier. If you're interested in any of my books, the Seco bars, or any of my HTLT supplements, remember you can use code GREG, save 10% off. Click the link in the description. Go there right now. Hopefully the video helped. Please like the video if you liked it, subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm, watch one of the two bloops, follow me on Instagram, Greg Doucette IP Pro, and until next time, I am out.